New at 10, it's a family reunion like you've never seen. Most of the members meeting for the first time after being separated for more than 60 years. 2 Works for You reporter Ashley Holt is in Claremore with how fate brought them together in a story you'll see only on 2.
For many of us, family dinners may introduce us to a new food, maybe a new family friend or two. But for one Oklahoma family, the living siblings sat in the same room for the very first time. Today, Claremore's Hammett House is the host of a special day, and not just for the food on the menu.
She looks just like her mom.
Larry, Tara, Laura Lou, and Susan were all born of Betty Baldwin in Pawhuska. But by the 50s, the young woman had more kids than she could manage.
An anesthesiologist at the hospital there in Pawhuska basically brokered the adoption of the kids from her to a lawyer.
Betty's niece Cheryl sat at a table like this one to ask her all about it at a family reunion.
I asked my mom one time when I was a teenager, didn't she have any kids? What happened? And my mom told me to ask her.
Aunt Betty told her she only had 3 kids.
2 cars, it was on a dirt road, and 2 cars came up that road. They put Susan in one. They gave her ice cream cone, put her in a car. They gave Lloyd and I ice cream cone and put us in the other car.
Larry is the oldest.
I didn't know that they were my brothers. I just knew they were little boys that, that I played with.
Susan, his younger sister, eventually grew up believing she was an only child.
When I would ask questions, she would just tell me, God gave you to us, and that was it. That was her explanation.
But the uncertainty wasn't good enough for Cheryl.
And so I said, well, would it be okay if my mom and I tried to find your kids?
With the help of Ancestry.com, a handful of DNA tests, and Facebook. An unimaginable family dinner with 2 siblings they knew nothing about was born.
Wait your whole life for something like this to happen.
Susan, no longer an only child.
Do you know what this is?
With a special gift to prove it.
That's your baby ring.
The 4 siblings standing together for the very first time.
I'll be blind when you're done.
For the family picture, not a single one of them knew was possible. There were 2 people noticeably absent tonight. One of the brothers passed away recently, and Aunt Betty passed away at the age of 83. She never lived to see the day all of her children sat in the same room. From Claremore, Ashley Holt, 2 Works for You.
Incredible story there. New at 10, education crisis in Oklahoma. The state's top teacher